Most engineers think their job is their safety net. It's not. Your job is the riskiest asset you own. And if you don't hear me right now, you could spend the next 20 years designing brilliant systems while your own financial future quietly fails. I've worked in power electronics, inverter, onboard chargers across Germany and China, inside some of the world's biggest automotive companies, and over the years, I've watched smart, highly qualified engineers get blindsided by the things they never saw coming. Not because they lacked skills, but because they lacked the right information. Today, I'm gonna give you 10 brutal career truths, things that took other engineers decades to learn. These are not in any textbook. Your university professor never taught this. These are raw lessons from corporate trenches, and I'm going to compress them into the next 15 minutes. Stay with me. This one matters. Before we go in, if you want more content like this, content that helps engineers build wealth and real career independence, hit that subscribe button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and you will get more strategies like this every week. Alright, let's go. Truth number 1. Hard work matters, but what your manager thinks of you matters even more. I know that stings a little. It stung me too. Here's the engineering analogy. Imagine you build the most efficient DC-DC converter in one project. The lowest losses, cleanest switching, and tightest thermal management. But nobody in the review meeting knows it was you. Who gets a credit? The engineer who spoke up in the meeting. In corporate environment, perception is reality. Your boss is a keynote in your career circuit. If that note is broken, if your manager doesn't see your value, doesn't advocate for you, doesn't understand what you bring, you have a problem, regardless of your technical depth. This is not about bootlicking. This is signal engineering. You need to make sure your output signal is reaching the right receiver with enough amplitude. Make your work visible. Write the internal summary. Present in the review. Speak up in the system design meeting. If your boss doesn't know what you do, you don't exist in the promotion conversation. Fix the relationship or find a manager who actually sees you. Either action, but no action is not an option. Truth number 2. One restructuring email can erase 20 years of loyalty. I've seen it. Engineers with 15, 20 years at the same company, brilliant people, handed a letter because a platform got cancelled, a technology shifted, or the China cost structure changed the math. Their loyalty didn't matter. Their relationship with the company didn't matter. What mattered? Their market relevance, their network. Here's the question I want you to sit with. What have you done in the last 3 years that is still relevant today? Not 10 years ago. Not your thesis project. The last 36 months. If you're in power electronics, let's say, are you working on 800-volt platform, silicon carbide topologies, bidirectional charging, vehicle-to-grid capabilities? Because the market has moved and it is still moving fast. Your loyalty belongs to your skill sets, not your employer. Fall in love with the technology, not the company badge. That's the only marriage that actually protects you. Truth number 3. Silent performance gets sidelined every time. I used to believe that good engineering work speaks for itself. It doesn't. Think about it this way. You have a perfectly designed system, but it's sitting in a Confluence page nobody visits. In a project folder nobody opens. Is it doing its job? No. It needs distribution. It needs visibility. You are the same. Internal visibility, showing up in cross-functional reviews, contributing in architecture decisions, writing technical summaries your leadership actually reads. That's not a soft skill. That is a career-critical engineering function. External visibility is not optional either. Your LinkedIn is your datasheet, your YouTube, your articles, your technical posts. These are your proof of competence, time-stamped and searchable. I'm an engineer who learned this the hard way. When I started showing up externally, sharing what I know about power electronics and engineering career strategy, everything changed. Doors opened that I didn't even know existed. Don't be a brilliant system that nobody knows about. Truth number 4. Networking is your off-balance sheet asset, and it compounds. Most engineers hate the word networking. It sounds fake. It sounds like small talk at a conference you even didn't want to attend. Let me reframe it. Networking is just building a distributed system of people who know your value. And like any good distributed system, it's redundant, resilient, and it operates even when your primary nodes go down. Here is the reality. A huge percentage of senior engineering roles, especially at the team lead and system architecture level, are never posted publicly. They are filled by referrals, by conversations, by someone saying, I know the exact right person for this. If you're not in that conversation, you're invisible to those opportunities. LinkedIn is table stakes. Job boards are the last resort. Your real network is the former colleague who moved to a tier 1 supplier, the professor who now consults for an OEM, the peer from the conference in Stuttgart who is now leading an 800-volt inverter program in Shanghai. Invest in those relationships. Stay in touch. Add value without expecting anything. That network will carry you through layoffs, market shifts, and the next AI disruption. Truth number 5. The most dangerous thing in your financial life is a high fixed cost structure. I want you to picture 2 engineers. Engineer A is a senior principal at a major OEM, making good money. Has a premium car financed, premium apartment mortgaged to the max, premium lifestyle, loan payments everywhere. He cannot leave his job, even if the work is soul-crushing, even if the project is killing him slowly, even if a better opportunity shows up at half the initial salary. He is trapped. Engineering B, on the other hand, is a mid-level engineer, earns less on paper, but has low fixed costs, has been investing consistently since year 3 of his career, has runways, has options. Who has made the career freedom? Engineer B every time. As engineers, we understand load capacity. We spec margins in our designs because we know peak loads happen. Do the same with your financial life. Keep your fixed cost load well below your income capacity. Invest early. Build cash reserves. Financial margin is career freedom. And career freedom is everything. This is something I took seriously early. And it's one of the reasons I can now take on the projects I really believe in, rather than the projects I'm forced into. Truth number 6. Your skills have a shelf life, and it's shorter than what you think. What got you promoted at 30 will not keep you relevant at 40. The tool chain changes, the standards change, the architecture shifts. In power electronics specifically, think about the jump from 400 volt to 800 volt systems, the shift from IGBTs to SiC MOSFETs, the emergence of bidirectional charging and vehicle-to-grid architecture. Engineers who didn't adapt, who kept designing the same 400 volt topology they mastered in 2012, suddenly found themselves misaligned with the market. You have to audit your skill set like you audit a bill of material, regularly, critically. Ask yourself right now, what is one emerging technology or methodology in your field that you don't yet fully understand? That's your next investment. Not because your company told you to, because your future self depends on it. Truth number 7. No salary, no bonus, no equity package is worth your health. I come from an athletic background. I know what it means to push your body and mind to the absolute limit. And I also know what it costs when you ignore the signals. The engineering culture in high-pressure automotive programs can be brutal, and I've lived this in Germany and China. Long hours, tight deadlines, constant travel, weekend reviews, and for a while, you can absorb it. But your body is not a switching power supply. It doesn't just keep running at 100% load indefinitely without thermal runaway. Build your health like you build your career. Consistently, systematically, with margin. Sleep, movement, recovery. These are not luxuries. They are your primary engineering inputs. Everything you produce depends on the system that produces it. Protect that system. Truth number 8. In most corporate environments, there is an invisible clock on your career, and it starts ticking earlier than you expect. I will be direct with you. In many large organizations, automotive OEMs, tier 1 suppliers, global engineering firms. There is a bias toward youth in technical individual contributor roles. As you move into your 40s and beyond, the expectation shifts. Leadership wants you in management, in architecture, in business development, not necessarily in the deep technical trenches. The engineers who navigate this best are the ones who saw it coming and positioned themselves accordingly. They built leadership experience early. They developed cross-functional credibility. They moved from the engineer who does to the engineer who knows and who leads. If you're in your late 30s and you haven't started thinking what your 45-year-old career looks like, start now. Don't wait until the org chart makes the decision for you. Truth number 9. Your career won't end with a dramatic collapse. It will end slowly, quietly, and you won't see it happening until it's already done. Careers don't end all at once. They end in a slow fade. It starts when a junior engineer on your team starts handling tasks that used to be yours. When the next level of complexity gets assigned to someone newer, hungrier, and cheaper. Then one day you look up and then realize the cutting edge work has moved away from you, and you have been comfortable long enough that catching up feels impossible. This is the slow thermal runaway that most engineers never model in their own career. The warning sign? Junior engineers can do what you do at a lower cost. When that's true, you have a narrow window to reinvent, adding leadership, adding financial intelligence, and adding external credibility. The engineers who build the most durable careers are the ones who keep adding layers, technical depth, leadership breadth, external reputation, so that they're always worth more than their component cost. Don't be a commodity, be a system. Truth number 10. Your real career safety net is not inside your job. Your job gives you income. Your job doesn't give you security. Security comes from what you build outside the job. A strong personal brand, a body of technical content that demonstrates your expertise, a network that transcends any single employer, side income, consulting, courses, channels, intellectual property, and most importantly, financial assets that don't depend on your monthly salary to survive. When I understood this, everything has changed for me. I'm an engineer who has worked across continents, built power electronics system inside world's most demanding programs. But the most important thing I've ever designed is my own financial independence, my own career leverage. And this channel, Focus Engineer, is part of that, because I believe engineers deserve to understand that the degree they spent years earning is more than a job qualification. It's a leverage. It's a thinking credential. And when you combine it with financial intelligence and intentional career design, it becomes a path to complete freedom. That is what this is all about. All right, those are 10 brutal career truths that every engineer needs to hear. Here is what I want you to do. Look at the list. Pick the 2 that hit the hardest, the ones that you know you've been quietly ignoring. Drop them in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this gave you something real today, share it with another engineer who needs to hear it. One message, one forward, one sharing on LinkedIn. That's it. Now, we talked a lot today about skill obsolescence, about career decay, and about junior engineers slowly taking over the more senior engineer's job. So the next question every engineer in this position needs to ask is simple. Which jobs is AI actually coming for? And which jobs are safe? Because there are 5 specific engineering roles right now where AI is not a threat. In fact, the engineers inside those roles are becoming more valuable, more necessary, and harder to replace every single year. I broke down all 5 in detail, what they are, why AI structurally cannot take them, and how you can position yourself inside one of them, starting now. That video is right here. Watch it next. I will see you in the next one. Keep building.